I wasn't born to just to survive. I was born to lead. Ever since then, it it took me a long time to understand. But I thought survival was pretty much the goal. Just to make it by, get everything, whatever's in front of me, like bills, rejections, people not believing in me, and setbacks. But survival is actually the lowest level of existence. Survival means you're reacting to something. Purpose means you're directing, and I had to learn the difference. There was a season in my life where I felt behind, and I still do sometimes, where I feel overlooked, where I question myself. When you struggle long enough, you start to think struggle is your identity, but it's actually not. Your struggle is actually the one that's training you. And let me put into perspective, you go to the gym, resistance builds muscle, right? Okay, it's the exact same way how struggle in life builds you. It's showing you, and I'm not saying that it's actually the struggle, it's Yahusha giving you that struggle, giving you that purpose of like, hey, look, I want you to lead, or I want you to do this instead, and stop doing the things that we all do, you know. He wants you to actually be something better, to have purpose in life. So without the gym, there's no growth. Without struggle, there's no purpose. The setbacks you face, the they built resistance. The rejections you felt, they built emotional strength. The moment nobody shows up for you, that builds independence. You weren't being buried, you're being built. Your struggles are not random. They give you perspectives. When you doubt, you know how to encourage someone to get out of that struggle. When you understand being broke, you understand that hunger and ambition that you always had. When you feel misunderstood, you learn to listen better. Pain sharpens awareness, and awareness is leadership. The world doesn't need more people who've had it easy in this world. We need people that decided to grow instead of breaking. That's purpose. Purpose is what your pain becomes someone else's blueprint. Purpose is when you say, I went through this so somebody else doesn't have to. At least alone. That is actually power. But I realized something that everything I've went through built layers for me. It built me confidence. Because for one, confidence doesn't come from comfort. If you're just laying on the couch, laying on your bed, it's going on Facebook, whatever, you know, that's comfort. You're not doing anything. You're not motivating anything. And on top of that, discipline doesn't come from motivation. It comes from you deciding of when you're going to act, when you're going to start doing it. And it takes that discipline, that, okay, I'm going to run this marathon, or I'm going to run this mile. Like, I'm going to do it today with or without anyone watching me, you know? That's discipline. And You can't lead someone when you're stuck in the same place, you know? You can't lead no one. You can't show people when you're in that exact same shoe, you know, in that same dark place that you never got out of. So you have to look back and fight for that, you know? Now, after you fight for that and you break out of that way, now you can reach back and pull someone else forward. That's what life after struggle looks like. Not bitterness, not victim mentally, but visually. So let me ask you something. What if the very thing you complained about is the very thing that's actually preparing you? What if the delay was development? What if the pain was the positioning? What if the struggle was your strategy? You survived it to lead differently, to speak differently, to move differently, to build differently. There are people watching you who need your examples. Not a perfect version of you, a progressing version of you. They don't need to see flawless. They need to see you faithful to growth, faithful to discipline, faithful to purpose. Your story isn't a mistake. It's a manual. But before I end this, if you guys are still here, if you're still breathing, if you're still trying, you weren't built just to survive. You were built to build, to impact, to impress, and to inspire, to lead. And hear me clearly. Your story isn't over. It's just the beginning.